Welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now let's hear for our special guest host, Jeff Bright.
That's my friend.
That's my friend.
That's right.
I'm trying to get used to this chair here. Yeah. If I get too comfortable, just don't say anything. Just let me get comfortable.
Nice, right?
Clay's socks are bothering me. But other than that, I'm good. This is Jeff Bright. Welcome to the live Wednesday call. And it's Wednesdays, and it's live.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
All
right.
So we're going to have a special guest, my friend Terry Edwards. And Terry and I have been friends for, I don't know how many years now.
Almost a decade, brother.
Almost a decade.
Almost a decade.
And Tia.
That's right. Hey.
Let's don't forget Tia. My wife loves some Tia. And I think your team does too. I mean, we always say, this is Terry and his culture. It's Terry and Tia.
That's right.
We're not going to leave her out.
Hey, listen, matter of fact, some people say behind every good man is a good woman.
Uh-huh.
So you be like, he might be the head, but I'm the neck. And that's true. What up, Tia? Hey, listen, she would be here today, but she's recovering from surgery on last week. So just to pause right quick, man, the Alliance family has just shown so much love. And that's the thing that I love about what we do. When one of us go down, man, people say, man, we've had more flowers delivered to the house. It looks like a funeral home at my house. Like the lady said, this one of the florists delivered, she was like, who died? And candy and meals and all that good stuff, man. So she's doing well. She'll be back in the office this coming week. So appreciate everything.
Well, let's also hello to Tia. Hey, Tia.
That's right.
Hey, Tia.
Boss
we
lady.
miss you. We miss you. So we're going to talk about culture today. I don't know. We may go an hour, may go an hour and a half. We're just going to play it by ear. That's what me and Terry do. We're really good at being otters, and otters just think on the fly.
That's right.
We don't have anything prepared. Actually, it looks like I do. I kind of do, kind of don't. But I know Terry real well, and I'm real familiar with his culture and his team and the dream team, as he calls it. I've been to many, what do you call them, mini conventions? What do you call those?
We call them growth summits.
Growth summits. And I go to those, and that's where it's just entirely his team in a hotel in one of those ballrooms or something like that. And listen, if you think what you see at convention is something going on, they're holding back there. Right, Quincy? You get up in there where it's just all of y'all together. I want to say, I feel like, because I hang around you guys like that,
Yeah.
and I'm familiar with you, I feel like that y'all have welcomed me in. Yeah, I feel like I'm an honorary member of the dream.
Matter of fact, at family reunion, I ain't gonna tell y'all what kind of drip we coming out with for family reunion.
Am I gonna get some?
But you gonna get some drip.
Okay.
Gina gonna get some drip. You gonna get some drip. Hell, everybody can get some drip. Like Oprah. I feel like Oprah up in here sitting to each other. I feel like I'm on Oprah. Well, let's go with Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Mm-hmm. You know, now that you brought that up, before we get started, I called some people. This is not like this is your life or anything, but I called some people.
Oh boy. Who did you call?
Well, I thought that it would probably be a good idea to talk to his upline and get their take on what they thought made his culture so special. And then I thought, maybe I should call that person's upline. So I did. And I got some quotes from them. And that you brought up, Dr. Phil, that'll come to fruition in just a second. I'll tell you why that is important.
Okay.
All right. But let's start off with Jason. And we all know Jason Mathis. And Jason said, I said, Jason, what do you think makes Terry's culture special and unique? And people are paying attention to it. He said, well, I've been watching it from the beginning. I think Terry, he paid you a high compliment. He says, I think Terry cares ultimately about his people, and he also cares that they grow. He can be, really, really encouraging, but he can be stern with you at the same time. And you both of those together is what he thought made your secret sauce.
Wow.
Now, Olga had a different take on it. Hey now.
I'm a little nervous.
Hey now.
I am a little nervous.
So Olga said, we know Jason's a lion, Olga's a golden, so this is a different take on it. And Olga said, let's see if I can remember now, She was admiring your passion. She goes, enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
She liked that enthusiasm because she thinks your enthusiasm brings people hope. And that's how she described your culture.
Yeah, thank you.
Then we get to Riddle.
Oh boy.
You know, Riddle's got it. Riddle.
Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Simon Cowell. So Riddle is like, we know he's a lion, but he's got a lot of mischief in him, a lot of playfulness in him, a little bit of an otter in him. So he said, basically, he thought the secret behind your success is that what you see is what you get, and you're authentic, very authentic.
Yeah.
And he says you're really good at mirroring your team, what they need. You become what they need, which in a sense is kind of contradictory. You know, I'm authentic, but I'm going to mirror my team. No, I'm just saying that's kind of contradictory, Riddle. But then he said that he thought as his role as your ultimate upline was he needed to get the hell out of the way and let you do your thing. And that he would support you from a distance. If you need him, he would come to any conference you ask him. I think he goes to the Growth Summits.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm just going to be like a library book, and you check him out when you need him to come. And he thought that other uplines need to recognize when they got a Terry Edwards, he said, be supportive and get out of the way. But then he made a comment. You see, it's dangerous to tell me something that's making fun of me when I'm about to go on the TWC because I'm live and I got a mic.
You in charge right now. Now we are on YouTube, so.
Yeah. Well, okay. So he started talking about this setup, and I kind of like the setup. It's got a rug. All we need is a fireplace or a fake fireplace back here,
or some bourbon or vodka.
Yeah. And then we got this paneling. Looks like a ski lodge, kind of like a ski lodge.
Nice.
I don't know if that was the look they're going for, but it's kind of that. It's not warm in here. It's freaking freezing, but it looks warm. I need a blanket, but he said that the chairs look really low to the ground. Well, I'm not that tall, so hey, Riddle, it fits me, fits my body, and I'm sure you'll be texting me and making derogatory comments about my height right now. But he thought, I don't know why he knows anything about Drew Barrymore. You know, I wouldn't think he did. But he must watch that show because he said on that show they sit down on the floor. I have no knowledge about this show, but they sit on the floor, and he says, we should sit on the floor and have this from the floor. I said, he goes, and then we should give each other big hugs every once in a while. And
I need a hug, though.
Well, but don't encourage that behavior.
I really need a hug.
Oh, God. Well, I'll give you a hug.
Okay.
I'll give you a hug.
I really need my wife has been in surgery.
Oh, dear God, listen. Okay.
It don't feel like Tia, but it's a close second.
Oh, Lord.
A close second.
Well, you just made Riddle's day.
Made my day, too.
I mean, I told Riddle, absolutely not. I'm not sitting on the floor.
But you did hug me.
I did hug you. I mean, that's what him and Mike Hartley do. I've heard they sit on the floor and hug each other, but that's another story. I'm glad y'all get some laughter from y'all. Yeah. Oh, we have a live audience. If y'all didn't know, we have a live audience here.
Yeah.
And I think they're more cold than I am because I've got a lot of fabric around me,
and we got these lights.
Patrick looks freezing. Yeah. All right. We're going to talk about culture, and we thought we have to give it some structure. But Terry's going to talk about what makes his team click and what makes them, what you see at these conventions when they're cheering and they're wearing, by the way, the sweater thing. That's really what I want. I want a dream team sweater.
Okay, I got you.
One, I like it. And two, I know how cold it's going to be here. And that sweater looks really warm.
Yeah, it's cozy.
It's cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like that. That's the drip that I'd like.
You want some of that drip?
I'd like some of that drip. Yeah.
All right, Tia.
Tia, mark that down. We needed some type of structure to have this conversation wrapped around. Maybe a good way to ask him questions would be just ask him how he pulls off the 8 core values, because you really need these 8 things from this book to be able to create that culture. That's why I wrote this book with Andy is to try to talk about how to create culture. So it's right here. The book is for sale, but I'm going to go through these 8 core values with Terry, and that's how we're going to have that conversation.
Yep.
All right. This is my book. I'm going to lay it down right there. All right. See, and I have notes, which y'all think I don't have notes, but I do have notes. So we're going to start off, Terry, and we're going to talk about, because it's the first one, we're going to talk about excellence and how you get people to live up to their potential on your team. I know that's a tough one to start with, but meeting people where they're at and trying to get them to live up to their potential at the same time.
Right.
Every downline in this whole organization needs to hear how you're doing that, because we struggle getting people, they live up to their average and they live up to being mediocre, but pushing them with a loving hand. How do you do that? How do you create excellence on your team?
Well, first and foremost, man, before we get started, you got to give honor where honor is due. So appreciative to Andy and Jane Albright for creating the alliance, man, where really it's an opportunity for all people that want to do something different and that want to excel, that want to do more than what they have done before. You can do that here. And I'm just so appreciative that, and the crazy part about our opportunity, Jeff, is it's not for the lucky. It's not, you don't have to be good looking. You don't have to have all of these things that you ain't already got. If you got some desire and you got some work ethic, anybody can win here at the Alliance. What do I mean by that? Network marketing, for example, right? Network marketing, it's a great industry, but it's a lot of luck involved. You know what I mean? But with what we do, we got leads. We got people that are reaching out to us wanting help with products that we got. They're reaching out, right? We got the carriers. You don't have to go out and get a business loan to go in business. You don't have to have a 700 credit score. Here, your work ethic is your credit score, right? So we got the leads, we got the carriers, we got a freaking environment where you can belong before you can behave. But all you got to do is, first of all, learn a phone script, right? Can you read a piece of paper that's telling you what to say to the client when they pick up the phone and say hello, right? Can you do that? Because the thing about it is, you can make money day one if you could just follow simple instructions. Now, let's talk about excellence for a minute. So, Andy and Jane know I love them. Andy Riddle, Angela Riddle, Jason and Olga, and the Dream Team. Like, the only reason that we're talking about culture is not because I'm that great. I'm just following the 8 Steps to Success, the Millionaire Maker Manual, the House of Values, and Inside the Circle of You. And I just found a way to put my own little seasoning on it. Y'all tracking what I'm putting down? So I wouldn't be sitting here if it had not been for Andy and Jane, Jason and Olga, my whole upline. I wouldn't be here, sitting here, if I didn't have a team that we call the Dream Team. So I sit here today, not that I'm perfect. Oh, we are qualified junior board members, though. You damn right, baby. So, but listen, it's not because we are perfect, I'm perfect, or anything like that. I've just found a way to make this my own. And it's crazy because it was a guy that called me. I had posted on social media about us hitting junior board member. And we've been here almost a decade now. And this guy was a part of us. And for whatever reason, he went his own separate way. But he called me and he said, Terry, man, I'm so freaking proud of what you guys have done, because you found a way to grow something and make it your own while still being a part of the bigger vision. So to me, that was a major compliment. So when we start talking about excellence, this is what I know. If you are used to making $35,000 a year, whatever level of money that you're used to making, when you come here, you don't have to become a totally different person. You can make that same amount of money right out the gate here doing that, because the market pays us based on a skill set that we bring to the market. Somebody, listen, y'all got to give me a little energy or something. I feel like I'm talking to my dadgum self. I could have been on Zoom. Could have stayed at the house. Hey, but listen, but what I'm trying to say is the market pays us based on the skill sets that we bring to the table, right? So if we want to make whatever we were making, you could come here and do that. The question is this right here. Most of us want to do better than what we've ever done before, but we're not willing to change and become the person that can produce that sort of results. And that's where we start talking about excellence. Excellence is moving from where I'm comfortable to my next level. And everybody comes to the Alliance with a different level of average, right? Mm-hmm. So what we do on the Dream Team is, first of all, we believe in unifying messages, right? That everybody can buy into. Just like Andy Albright always said, have fun, make money, make a difference. You can't argue with that, right? I mean, like, if you want to argue, that means you just want to argue. If you can't get on board with that, that means you just want to be contrary. And what we look for are people who can buy into unifying messages. So one of the unifying messages on the Dream Team is this right here. We believe in the power of the team, TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. So that everyone is all inclusive, right? Mm-hmm. So what we do, man, is we do a very good job of meeting people where they are and finding out who they are and how they got to where they are, and then figure out where they want to go, right? And then, so if they are here and they want to get here, there's a gap that John Maxwell called the leadership lid. So we have to grow that person to get to this level. So if they're making 35 and they want to make 100, yeah, we can do it. But are you willing to become that person? So we're having those conversations very early with people, not dousing their dreams, but also mixing it with, okay, this is some practical stuff you're going to have to do. And a lot of times, man, excellence is happening on the inside before it shows up on a premium report. Let me repeat that again. Excellence, a lot of times, is happening with folks on the inside. And the question is this right here. Do you have enough patience to deal with people as they are growing on the inside? Or are you so busy as a leader thinking about, oh, I need you to make me some money? The leaders that are only focused on just, I need you to make money, I guarantee you they got a width problem. WIDTH problem. They don't have enough choices of people to work with, so they are hammering the few people that they are to go out and do it. So the main thing with excellence is going to be a individual definition based on each individual. So the crazy part about this past week, Tia went down for surgery. My son got injured. He got to go to surgery Monday, tore his Achilles. And he's an athlete, so, you know, we had a lot going on in the family this week. So I've been playing sometimes I call it Dr. Husband. I've been Dr. Husband dispensing medications. I've been Mr. Mom going through the car rider line and stuff like that. Yeah. But what I figured out is Tia has a unique relationship with each individual child. Each of them expect different stuff. Taylor, she was like, hey, today Monday, we stop at the convenience store after she picked me up, so I go in and get my bobo. I'm like, what is a bobo? Or a bobo, whatever it is, right? It's a little sugary drink or something. Okay. But anyway, and then I drop her, I get her where she need to go. Then I got to shoot to East Forsyth High School, pick up Anaya. I get there, pick her up, and she like, well, listen, you got to hurry up because I got to be to work at 5 o'clock and we ain't got time. I got to walk the dog. So what I'm saying is, and she was like, I was like, y'all about to run me ragged. And she said, well, welcome to Mom's world. So excellence is an individual thing, getting to know people on an individual basis and moving beyond those surface level relationships to really understand, get to know people and how to move them. And sometimes it ain't premium. Sometimes it's teaching them how to get out of bed.
Yeah, I was going to elaborate on that. So, do you remember the date that you made a decision that you were going to go all in with this?
All right, that was the day I got started because I ain't had nothing else. So when I got started, Jeff, I had just lost my job, and I had some money in savings, but if you got it going out and it ain't coming in, it ain't gonna last long. Mm-hmm. So from the beginning, I needed to make a full-time income. And my first 30 days, just following Jason and what he was telling me to do, we made over $8,000 deposits in my bank account.
That's right.
God, that go right.
So that made that decision a little bit more.
That made it easier.
Easier.
That made it, but also I had a reason.
Yeah.
I told Tia daddy when I asked for her hand in marriage that I was going to be a good provider. Mm. And that I was going to take care of my responsibilities. Excellence is being a person of your word. I ain't going back on that. So if I had to do this, run a courier route, work at McDonald's, do customer service at night, I was going to do what I had to do to fulfill what I told him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I had to win.
Yeah.
And just so happened, I made $8,000 my first month. I was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, well, shoot, if I can do this every month, I ain't going back to corporate America. And by God, that's what we've been doing.
Now, everybody on your team has that same story when they got started, right? Their decision is based on different circumstances,
right?
Right. But they all, you can almost see in people's eyes in a spark when they make that decision that they're going all in. They're not just dipping their toe in the water anymore. They're going to be deliberate, and they're going to be intentional with this.
Yeah.
You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Not just in the numbers.
Yeah, and I think that decision, it constantly happens. So at first, you're trying to figure out, can I win? Mm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I went all in with, can I win? That first month. And then I was like, wait a minute, it ain't no fun if my homies can't get none. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should have said that.
Quincy liked it.
You like it? Okay. All right. So, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. I've been building other networks before, and nobody won't make no money. I was like, well, shoot. I'm going to start introducing this to friends. And then when they started winning, I was like, by God, I need to go all in with this recruiting thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like every level, there was a different all in. So now it's like junior board member. Like we celebrated that night. The next morning, I'm back up doing one-on-ones at a coffee shop, building depth with Quincy, right?
Right.
So the next level is how many people, how many dream teamers can we get making 100,000?
Right.
How many dream teamers can we get making $250,000? How many $1 million earners are we going to have coming out of the dream team? So now it's another level of all in. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it kind of builds upon itself, but first it's that decision, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to say this because this, when I talked to Andy, this comes to me a lot when we're having discussions, and he said that this is his favorite quote by Henry David Thoreau. The price of success or being the best comes with the exchange of sacrifice you're willing to make. There's one thing to make a decision to do this, but it's got to be followed up with sacrifice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of people make a decision to do this. It's called fast track. Mm-hmm. Getting in class. Uh-huh. Getting in class. That's another decision. There's several decisions, but then you get contracted. I never understood this. This is worse than trying to figure out if there's a real Bigfoot or a UFO or what, Loch Ness Monster. I can figure those three things out better. I can figure this out. People that get contracted and never sell a policy. If you're out there and you do that, don't come up to me at the convention. Because y'all weird me out. Yeah. So being dedicated. I mean, I heard this one time before about culture. Is you're the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, he don't want to say that, guys, but he is. He's the straw. You got to have that first believer. You know, you got to have that person that's enthusiastic,
Yeah.
like Olga's talking about, and he's that person, and he tries to make it contagious. He's really good at that. I mean, he might be the best in the Alliance at that. I mean, can I get like a cheer about that? Yeah. I mean, if we're getting out, we should give that out as an award. Who's the best believer? Who has the most enthusiasm? He's going to win it every year. I mean, hands down. But to me, being a believer like that and then getting other people to believe is tough, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you get frustrated, but you don't show that frustration. You hide it.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do?
Sometimes I do.
Some,
And the decision means you decide, you cut off.
Is that the sacrifice?
That's the sacrifice. You cut off not being successful. Like, we can't, I don't know about y'all, but my family can't afford for me not to be successful. Hell, I can't afford for me not to be successful. Mm-hmm. The Alliance can't afford for anybody not to be successful, because in your failure, we fail. Mm-hmm. Like, the way this thing is set up is the better we do, the better everybody does. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. We want to be on, we're on a championship team. What ticks me off is people that say, you know what? I scored 32 points, had 42 rebounds and 32 assists, but we lost the game. Mm-hmm. Like, your individual stats shouldn't exceed the mission. We're going to win a championship. I looked at that South Carolina girls team.
38-0?
38-0. But y'all know how they practice? They practice against boys. Their practice team is an all-male team. And when they won that that national championship, the boys that they practice with, I think they call them highlighters or something like that, because they wear these neon green shirts.
Yeah.
They got a ring.
Yeah.
Excellence is allowing people in the background still to participate in the victory.
Now, that's good.
Allowing people, listen, we hit junior board member. There was a lot of people that ain't wrote a piece of premium, but they have been loyal, and they will call Terry and Tia, and they will say, I've been praying for you. Is there anything that I can do to help you? Where they may not have written an app, you just don't know how sometimes just having somebody to be present. My mama and Tia parents came up here for her surgery. My mama don't move around as much as she used to, right? But it was just her presence there did something for the family. So I don't care if you're out there right now and you feel like, you know what, I'm not a top producer yet. I haven't hit the leaderboard yet. We still need your presence at the family reunion. That's right. We need Lottie, Dottie, and everybody at this family reunion. You know what? Inclusion is important, and inclusion is not a racial term. Mm-hmm. Inclusion is everybody can belong. We need all hands on deck, because the battle that we're fighting, we don't need fewer people. We need more soldiers. We need more soldiers. Mm-hmm. Excellence is bringing what you can bring and being the best at it. So if you're going to be a dadgum cheerleader, be the best dadgum cheerleader. If you're going to write big premium, don't just do it 1 month and don't do it the next month. Excellence is consistency. Enthusiasm is about doing it, going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's courage. Mm-hmm. Excellence is having courage, baby. And guess what? You can't expect it if you ain't it. I take the responsibility. There's a book called Extreme Ownership that says there's no such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders. I take exceptional responsibility for being the one. I will put myself out there to be the one. And when I put myself out there, I got to back it up with action. Mm-hmm. See, so many people are talk that talk, but will they walk that gonna walk? Excellence is talking the walk and walking the talk.
So, to piggyback on that, and then we're going to get off excellence.
Okay, all right.
Go and take this. I knew you and me were going to get.
Am I doing all right?
Yeah, you're doing great. We should have just done one core value. I knew that. I mean, me and him together, it ain't gonna be enough airtime here. But so have y'all heard? I mean, because I used to go into companies and help them create their cultures, and we always talked about culture is a pot of water. You know, I used to make my own tea till I started, deciding I'm just going to buy Chick-fil-A's tea, and it's just too much trouble. I can make some good tea though.
Some sweet tea?
Yeah, some really good. I know there's a procedure to go through.
All right.
And I can teach you, maybe. But the pot of water on the stove, and you turn the burner on. Water is going to start boiling. That's when you put the tea bags in, when it starts boiling. Not until it starts boiling. A lot of you stick it in there and wait for it to boil. Debbie, you get it.
That's how I cook my ramen noodles.
You got it. You get it.
Yep.
Culture's like this. Water boils from the bottom up, not from the top down. Some of you are so busy trying to find the one and parade them around. I found my person. Your team ain't no better than your bottom producer.
That's it.
You get a lot of bottom producers start believing and move them to the middle. I ain't talking about moving them to the top.
Right.
A successful team is a fat middle.
Yeah.
How many times can we say we want a fat middle?
I like it. Well, I done had that.
You working on that?
I'm working on it.
You looking good.
I'm trying.
You looking good.
I'm trying.
Until you looking better. Right.
That is true.
That's better. Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, because if you get a fat middle, you still want some people at the bottom, because the middle looks down and goes, I ain't never going back.
Right.
That's what you want.
Right.
And you want the middle start growing and pushing to top, because the top will get comfortable and start resting on their laurels. Or they'll build and they won't sell. So fat middle is what you want in a culture.
So as we was doing this Dream Team junior board member push, number one, we made it a team goal that we are on the brink of breaking history. You want to be a part of it? Let's ride, baby. And let me tell you something. Last month, our top producer produced 16,000. And we had 67 unique writers last month.
Now that's awesome. You usually say that again. 67.
67 unique writers. See, that's a leaderboard that I pay attention to that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Unique writers and issue paid legs. That's what I be looking for. See, because I know this right here. If I'm wider than a fat baby's bottom, I can control my width. I can't control what Quincy do. I can't control what Mia do. I can't control what Josh do. But me and Tia, we can control our width and we can control our personal production. So at the very beginning, $20,000 a month issue paid, that was my standard. That's right. And Andy used to talk about 20/20 vision. 20 appointments a week on the sales side, 20 interviews a week on the recruiting side. That was the standard. Now, because we made that our standard, I got moral authority to ask it of Quincy. So if Quincy say, man, I want to do this thing big like you, I say, you really do want to do it? Are you willing to do 20/20? You know what I'm saying?
The sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Now, you said something big. We ain't gonna have an economic debate, but it's just mathematically correct. If you look at a pyramid, the American economy is built on the backs of middle-class America.
Amen to that.
The only way to grow the middle class is to have more people in the lower income. I don't like to say poor people, but
lower economic,
right? If you want more middle, you got to have a wider base, and then you're going to have more elite people, the wider your base get. Now, right, wrong, and indifferent, that's the way it works. In our business, the way you get a fat middle is by getting wide on your base. That's right. You talk about putting pressure, right? Number one, I always said this. Excellence is, don't no chargebacks get past me to Jason and Olga.
That's big. That's huge right there.
Don't no debt come past me to Jason and Olga. I don't care what my downline do. I take 100% ownership of that. It ain't getting past me to Jason and Olga. I don't care how big I get. I would never grace the Alliance stage and not show honor to Jane and Andy Albright, to Jason and Olga Mathis, to Angela and Andy, and to my dadgum Dream Team family. Never. Does that make sense? I ain't gonna get too big for my britches, because my granddaddy used to say this: the same steps that you climb going up, on your way down, you'll have to see them same people. You know what I'm saying? So we want to continue to get wide. Now, if I ain't wide, I can't expect Quincy to get wide, because now I'm trying to tell him to do something that I ain't willing to do.
Yes.
So when we did that last month, man, 67 unique writers. Our top producer was 16,000. So we had a lot of 4,000, a lot of 3,000, and a lot of 2,000. Now some people look at them $2,000 and $3,000 a month producers as duds. See, I think we got some of the terminology maybe mixed up. When Marcus Sutter is talking about aces, there's only 4 aces in a deck. Chances are you ain't one of the aces your dadgum self. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even an ace all the time. I turn it on, turn it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is this right here. If you only want to give people attention that are aces, you're going to miss out on a lot of 2s, 5s, and 10s. And a lot of the people that we consider aces started out as 2s and 3s and 5s. That's right. But what happens, Jeff, is when their name hit the leaderboard and they get their names in the lights, their nose go up and they forget who helped them when they were down here. Mm-hmm. A lot of us, it takes 2 to 5 years to unlearn all of the bad stuff that we learned before we got here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we can't get the big head.
Yeah.
And we can't forget where we come from. So one of the things I also look at, Jeff, is my RM-based shop. I ain't trying to ride Jason and Olga's coattail just because I'm on their team. I want to put pressure on them. I say I want to be 60% of Jason and Olga's business. So even if they don't like me, they still got to respect me.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. There you
now,
go.
I ain't saying they don't like me. But
They don't have to like it.
Listen, it's undeniable that we've had a positive impact on their business.
Yes,
right?
very
now, I want to be 40% of Andy Riddle's business, and I want to be 30% of the Alliance. So come family reunion, the Dream Team goal is to be 30% of the room. Huh?
Yeah.
Because I know if I get them to that meeting, the meeting is going to do some stuff that I can't do at my growth summit.
Yeah.
But when I get back home, I'm going to be a good steward over my people. And we're going to work this thing out together, man. I'm rambling, man.
Let's talk about the Growth Summit just a second. And Quincy, you're in the room when and you can tell me if I'm right about this, but in some ways I see the Growth Summit, like you guys think they just show up at the convention and they just start cheering and acting, excited about being there. The dress rehearsal is at the Growth Summit.
Right.
There's a dress rehearsal going on. Now I get to see behind the scenes. They rehearsing, they getting ready for that. It don't happen by accident. Y'all think y'all just gonna some of you called me and said, I want to be like Terry. Well, you think we should get some pom-poms and we should sit together. Oh, we should get all matching t-shirts. I said, man, you don't get it. It happened way before they got a Dream Team sweater. That's just the evidence that they've arrived. They got together and they got together.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
Abraham Lincoln said this. He was looking at the theory about right angles. He said, culture is this. People that are equal to the same thing will be equal to one another.
Come on.
So at the Growth Summit, they get ready to be equal to the same thing. They're all on the same page. And guess what? Through osmosis or whatever, they become equal to one another. And then that unification is on display at the conference. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing.
That's it. And this is the key, is you have to find a unifying message that speaks to the soul of people. Now, see, insurance is insurance is insurance. Carriers are carriers are carriers. There are plenty of places for people to go and build an insurance business. But what makes this different is our spirit, our soul, right? So when I'm recruiting, most people are recruiting about leads. Most people are recruiting about the carriers. And that's all good and dandy because we got to make some money. But I'm trying to stir up that soul. What's on the inside of you? What is that right there? So we found a unifying message. This year this is our winning season, baby. And then people get tired of winning season. You got to switch it up on them. It's like a woman with her hair. I like it when you change it up on them. You're like, oh, I got a whole nother woman right here. Last week it was long. This week is short, right? And then, okay, and so then winning season, right? And then it was like, wait a minute. Together, everybody achieves more. You know, if we really work together, everybody is going to achieve more. And now going into family reunion, we're talking about leveling up. We want everybody to be leveling up at family reunion. So if you came to a view and you was a business developer, let's get you the key leader by family reunion. Let's get you to your next level. So getting people to think about their next level and how everybody working together. Man, you should have heard people. I didn't even know Mia was calling Quincy and Quincy calling Josh and Josh calling this person and this. Hey man, you need any help getting pinned and whatever we got to do, man. Everybody has bought into that. And Jeff, I have been praying and working for 9 years to get it to where it is right now. And the crazy part about it is, yeah, we got the growth summits, but now we got our Dream Team Sales Academy. These are the people who say, you know what, I want to get consistent. So we get on a call every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I call roll, just like a classroom. I call roll, and then we go through and grade. Okay, how many dials you do this week? I'll say, and how much time did you spend on the phone? And we got mathematical equations. You can't tell me you've been on the phone all week and you only made 32 dials. That was about an hour worth of dial time. Yeah. Right? If you full time, you need to be giving me 40 hours a week, right? Not just giving me, you give yourself 40 hours a week, right? We're trying to bring people to different levels of financial security. Teaching them about, you know what, you need to get your financial house in order so we can buy a house and, you know, get out of debt, and all those things are coming to play. So we're tying their activity to what they want. Does that make sense? And so we got the nuts and bolts, and we got the inspiration, and we have expectations. So we can't just show up without ordering the towels. I knew I was going to come out to Peter Pablo, North Carolina, and we needed something to wave. Yeah. And it's crazy, the sweaters, right? People want to come to the convention, but they want to get dripped too. Yeah. Like it's all, like we have socials before the event start. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a whole lot of intentionality, and we expect people to crash the stage. We expect people to be engaged. We expect you to be hyped. Because guess what? I'm hyped. Yeah, you are. Don't leave me out there. So a guy was telling me, I was trying to sell him family reunion ticket. He was like, I think I'm gonna get one. I said, well, how about this? The next time you call me from home, I'm gonna think about picking up. So how is it that you want me to show up for you, but you ain't willing to show up for me? Right, exactly. Yeah, that's right. So we have beat. Omar, I need my ticket purchased. we beat this excellence thing in the ground, which I think it's important to talk about. But I want to also talk. There's many aspects to Terry's team, because a lot of people are thinking, okay, I got it. That's what I need to do. No, there's more. There's much more that goes on that you don't see. This group is very service-minded. It's like there's not peer pressure. There's peer support going on. And they're very service-minded. I mean, I'm not trying to get biblical, but I have this quote from Matthew. I like the Bible. Yeah. So Matthew 20:28 says, your attitude must be like my own. For I, the Messiah, did not come to be served, but to serve and to give my life. You know, we got to meet Terry, the more of that, I think about your team being of service to something bigger than yourself. I mean, that's a big Chick-fil-A thing. Yeah, they're really big into that. And if you think you're bigger than Chick-fil-A, you are out the door. Right.
You are not an individual. You are part of something bigger than yourself.
Chick-fil-A has the longest drive-through wait time in fast food, and nobody complains about it.
Nobody complains about it.
Nobody complains about it.
No, nobody complains
You go to
about
McDonald's and that ice cream machine, bro? Oh, hell no, we raising hell.
it. So I think about, being service-minded and being like the Good Samaritan, and I sense that your folks will come to the aid of each other. When somebody's down, the other one that's up, they'll pick them up, right?
Right.
I sense that sense of brotherhood and sisterhood. I sense that on the team.
Yeah.
But I think the enthusiasm that I feel when I'm there goes hand in hand with their service. I mean, because they're enthusiastic, that it helps aid that service-minded person, and it becomes contagious. I sense it when I'm there. There's such an upbeat attitude in the room. You guys sense it at the convention, right? You all see that. You can definitely see there's an upbeat attitude going on. They're excited about being there.
Yeah.
They're excited, but they're also very vested in each other.
Yeah.
They're very, that towel waving is not just cheerleading. It's a representation that we're here and we got here because we love each other, we care about each other, and we care about one of our own dream team up there talking, and we're going to show that person that we care about them. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. I don't think some of the teams that want to do this, be careful what you wish for, that you want this. Are you going to be able to get your least believer on your team to act like they're the most believer on your team? You think about the person that has the least enthusiasm in your downline. You got to get them at the convention, and they got to wave a towel like they ain't never waved it before. Can you do that? If you can't do that, you better be careful what you wish for, trying to emulate this man and his team.
Service. So, I forgot who said it, but it says service is the rent that you pay for the space that you occupy on earth. So here, we're serving, like we talk about serving our clients, right? Going out in the community, making sure that we help people with good quality financial products that on their worst day, on that family's worst day, they calling you, right? We're there to serve and not sell. Serve and not sell. Serve and not sell. If you serve, the sale is going to happen. So many people go out trying to sell and ain't serving nothing, right? So you got your external customers, the external service and the external customers, which is our clients that we go out and serve. But as builders, right, we have internal clients called our agents. Right. Every agent to me is like a client, like a customer. I got to be there for Quincy when Quincy need me. I got to show Quincy the example. I got to be able to recognize when Quincy is injured. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I got to go over there, like physically go over there and drag his ass out the house and say, meet me over at Twin Peaks. You need a change of scenery, let's get a cold beer. You ever been to Twin Peaks?
I have. I have.
If you can't get a better attitude than Twin Peaks, I ain't saying you, but anyway.
Well, I went with my wife to Twin Peaks, which is.
Yeah, I go over there all the time.
I don't know if that was a good idea.
Yeah, go over there. Yeah, take over there. Take over there. Don't go without her.
No, that would be a worse idea.
Right. So, but being there to serve people, right? So I feel like it is my job to serve a new agent at least till they get 10 Issuer Paid apps. 10 Issuer Paid apps. I got to be there and hold their hands. Jeff, it's in your cleavage. Let me help you. Let me help you. Is this what you want, really? It was in your bosom, Jeff.
Okay. Riddle, don't get any ideas.
Dang, I done forgot what I was talking about. But anyway.
That's the only thing Patrick got out of this whole talk.
So we got to be there to serve, to really serve our agents, right? It's my job, I feel like, to help them get 10 Issuer Paid apps. When I help them get 10 Issuer Paid apps, if they ain't trying to build, they really don't need me no more because they know how to get pinned and pushed through. They know how to handle if they get declined, how they should handle it, and all that stuff. Just like I was on my way here, I was on the phone with Transamerica Underwriting. I told the client got declined. I said, when you get underwriting on the phone, you three-way me in. so you can hear me talk to the underwriter and ask questions. So that way you're not getting confused on what the client, because the client will lie to you in a minute and they'll make you believe it, but they ain't tell you they had sugar since they were 22. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like being there and adding value. So when value exceeds price, people pay. When value exceeds compensation grids, people stay.
That's awesome. That's a great quote. That's a great quote right there.
When the value that you bring to your agents exceed the agent level's commission, they will stay. And even, it's just like children. The Bible say, you know, if you train them up in the right way, they might stray, but they'll come back, right? Even sometimes you got to release them. Mm-hmm. You think the grass is green on the other side? Go on over there. Try it out.
Yeah.
I might be here when you get back, but I ain't gonna be at the same level because I'm gonna keep getting wide, baby. And what we've experienced on the Dream Team, people have left, but they come back. And then it's like when they come back, they're even more grateful than when they left. So like we got this one agent right now, LaTanya Booker. Mm-hmm. LaTanya is up in Richmond, Virginia. She left, and then she texted me on the way to family reunion. She said, what I got to do to get back with the Dream Team? I said, I've been waiting for this call. Just fall back in formation, baby, and let's ride. Just get in formation. And she got back in formation, and she's already recruited 4 licensed agents right now. So I'm fitting to get up in my car and drive down up to Richmond, Virginia and do a meeting. You tracking what I'm saying?
I see, yeah.
So it's like, it's always about how can I bring more value to people? How can I help people figure out how to manage their cash flow? How can I teach them how to be an entrepreneur? How can I teach them how to, when you got downtime in your schedule, it ain't time just to sit there and look at the camera and look at YouTube. No, you pull out a list and you start dialing people. You know, so it's like when you can bring that sort of value, how to win at home and in the marketplace. That's big.
Yeah, because it goes past, I think, a lot of people got good intentions in this world. Mm-hmm. But good intentions don't pay the bills.
When you going to get in heaven on intentions?
No.
He said, well done. What did you do?
This quote says, no one will remember the Good Samaritan if he just had good intentions. He had to go help somebody.
Right.
You know? Right. It's not about good intentions. Right. I think we can move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Because we're moving slower than I thought we would, but I don't know why I thought we would move fast. Integrity. That's the name of the darn company that
I love everything about it.
Yeah, that bought us. Gosh, here's a great quote to start the conversation off about integrity. One of the truest tests of integrity is its blunt refusal to be compromised. Mm-hmm. Not yielding when temptation's coming. Temptation's coming.
It's all around us.
It's all around us.
Even the Apostle Paul said, even though I want to do good, evil is always around me. We live in a world right now where there's evil all around us. You turn on the CNN or the Fox News, all that crap is evil. Don't be confused. Like, we coming up on election season, y'all. And let me tell you something about elections. I don't care who you vote for. You should vote. But the whole world these politicians don't need our little opinion. When there's so many billions of dollars with political action and all that stuff going on under the table, do you think your Facebook posts really mean anything? Do you really think that that's moving the freaking needle? We're trying to bring people together, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to focus on while the rest of the world is talking about, listen, y'all want to learn how to get people to move? No. The most disrespectful way to get to know somebody is to label them. Look at your neighbor and say, stop labeling me. Stop labeling me. See, a label is just a stereotype, right? Liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, black people, white people, men, women. Once you know one man, that don't mean you know them all.
Right. Right.
You get to know me intimately, see. Look through a person's eyeballs and find out what they really came here for. Integrity is like, okay, go ahead.
I was going to tell you, this is what I think of when I think about you being a man of integrity.
Yeah.
simple as this. 3 words. You keep your word. Keep your word.
Yeah.
You know, Brian Tracy, some of y'all know him.
Yeah.
He said, the value of a promise is the cost to you of keeping your word.
Yeah.
In other words, a promise made is a debt unpaid until you keep your word.
That's right.
And I think that's where people, that's what's contagious. They follow you because you set the example, of course, but you keep your word to your people. Consistent.
I'm consistently authentic. And you say that they don't see me mad?
I've seen them see you mad.
Josh Parker, the other night, we had a little team rally. After the numbers was finalized,
Yeah.
the Dream Team flooded Zoom. We got on there, man, we just had a little party on Zoom.
Yeah.
Josh Parker said, one of the things that I like about Terry is that he is very transparent. He lets us see when we're happy. He also let us see when he's angry. That's real.
That's real. My mama used to call that, I think you have it. And I'm going to say it like she would say it, because we were born in South Carolina, and Rock Hill, South Carolina is where I was.
Oh, they're good people down there. They're God country.
My mother said, son, you need to tell the truth. No, the naked truth.
The naked truth.
The naked truth.
That's right.
Complete, unembellished version of the facts.
Of the facts. Not emotions, not what I feel, the facts. The fact is this right here. You might not like some of the things that Andy do, but you can't deny the fact that he's built and changed an industry. You might not like certain things about certain people, but you can't deny, like even if you deny it, oh boy, I heard it said this way, a lie is still a lie. I don't care who believe it, and the truth is still the truth. I don't care if nobody believe it.
There you go.
So we live in a world now where people like that. I told my daughter, I said, don't be manipulated. I said manipulated. We live in a world where people spin words all the daggone time for whatever their agenda is.
The people follow the truth. It still sells.
And we'll set you free. And authenticity is now a hot commodity because social media has diluted the truth. You know, I was speaking to a group of men. I said, man, don't let women talk junk to you talking about something. They want a real man, but then you look at them, they got fake hair, fake lashes. They ain't got no trailer back there. Then they go and get a BBL and then want a CDL.
Wow.
It's a freaking illusion, bro. It's an illusion. Social media is an illusion. It is not freaking real. If these guys that are on here selling all these leads, if they could do, now I ain't against lead vendors, I love them. Somebody got to do it. But you ain't gonna tell me to buy your program and you're gonna instantly start writing $20K a month. Because if that's the case, how many people have you helped do $20K a month? No, you just got my $5,000 and gonna sell me a bogus lead program.
Yeah.
Don't get manipulative, y'all.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Follow rings.
Follow rings.
Not things.
Things. Let's talk about reputation and character.
Oh, boy.
Your reputation is in the hands of others, whether you know it or not. That's what reputation is.
Yeah.
You can't control that. The only thing you control is your character.
That's it. 100%.
You need to protect your reputation with good character.
I say it this way, Jeff. Your character will outrun your reputation. Your character. I don't care what people say about you. I had an agent tell me this one time. She was like, I heard some stuff about you. I said, good. You stick around long enough, you'll figure out if it's true or not. I don't care what you heard. You stick around long enough, and you're going to find out what's true. Because your character will outrun your reputation. I don't care what they say about me. There's a lot of people out in this world, Jeff, they think they know me. They don't know me like that. And they come up with their theories, conspiracies, or whatever the case may be. That's between them and God. All I'm going to do is keep doing what I know to do. And I'm going to love on people. And I forgot who said, sometimes people will offend you before they let you help them. And I'm willing to sacrifice my ego. You can offend me. You can say I ain't shit,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. But look at them numbers.
Look at those numbers.
Look at the numbers, baby.
I would say this about reputation and character, to piggyback on that, is in the Alliance, we've been given a recipe where we can merge the two together.
Yeah.
And it's called, and we don't talk about it that much anymore, but it's something that Andy brought here, and we used to talk about it a lot. We actually went to Cabo and wrote a song about it. The Light of Day.
Yeah.
See, duplication is that you are copying the people that you see that have earned your enthusiasm. They've earned your enthusiasm because of their acts. And you copy them because they've earned your enthusiasm. You're fired up being around those people.
That's right.
That's the duplication part. The association part is we walk with those that have earned our trust. And the edification part is we invest in those people that have earned our respect. So if you want to see reputation and character come together, it comes together in 3 ingredients: enthusiasm, trust, and respect. We duplicate, we associate, and we walk, and we edify.
That's right. And that's where I got excited when I came to the Alliance. I saw men that had great relationships with their wives and still had a big business. In corporate America, you didn't, like the boys in corporate America, they talked about how much they hated theirs. I got to go home to that whining thing and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? But when I came here, I was like, oh, so it is possible. And then I was like, but dadgum, Patrick Connors got 50 lamb children. And he done built this business. I know I can do it with my foe. Mike and Noel, they built it together, lock and step.
Yeah.
I was like, me and Tia could do that.
Yeah.
I looked at Stephen and Holly Davis. I looked at Andy Riddle. I'm like, God knows. I wanted to be like the elite. I didn't want to be at the bottom. I mean, I started from the bottom, now I'm here, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to stay at the bottom. And like, sometimes it's harder to try than it is to settle. Matter of fact, it's always easier to settle than to try. And even in your tiredness, I still want to try, because when Andy started, what some people say, parading me, put me in front of the room, I knew that came with a responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, you guys realize 30 minutes of speaking time at a national convention is equivalent to hundreds of hours of behind the scenes, on the phone, dealing with people, putting out fires. It's 30 minutes is almost a ripoff, considering what you have to go through to get there.
Yeah.
The question is, you want the glory, but are you willing to write the damn story?
Yeah.
With the Alliance, the pen and the pad is in your hands. Quincy, it's in your hands, baby. And it's like when you empower people to say, you know what? The power of the pen is in your hand. Now you're going to find out what you're working with. Is it iron sharpening iron? Or is it iron rubbing up against tissue? What do I mean by that? Iron sharpens iron. And anytime iron is sharpening iron, there are going to be some sparks. It's going to be some confrontation. It's going to be some disagreements, right? But if iron sharpens iron, we're going to leave that disagreement sharper and better. Does that make sense? Both of us. But if you are rubbing up iron against toilet paper, the toilet paper ain't going to last. It's going to get shredded up. And when they get shredded up, that's when they start talking with other cross lines and causing confusion and division. They're posting subliminal messages. They're getting on Instagram, doing their thing, or whatever the case may be, right? But here, we value iron sharpening iron. The Alliance, to some people, like Mia Fennell said, is a hospital. It's where sick people come to find themselves and to get healed. But on some teams, the question is your team a hospital or is it hospice? Hospice is just designed to make people comfortable until they die. I ain't for being hospice. People got too many other places that they can go and feel comfortable with staying where they are. The dream team is a place for upward mobility, baby. I don't care how you start, it's how you finish. And one thing for sure, Jeff Bright, the dream team is gonna finish. And we're gonna finish well. We're gonna finish well in our faith. We're gonna finish well in our finances. We're going to finish well in our families, and we're going to finish well in our relationships. And we don't mind calling a damn spade a spade and a dud a dud. If you come up in the dream team and you ain't exhibiting our core values, or you ain't, listen, we got to care because what we do affect each other. The minute that you don't care about what you post on social media and how it's going to affect my money, or if I come on your team call and I'm not prepared and I'm just on there rambling, I should care about what I do because what I do affects your money.
Well, let's talk about, that's the great transition into why people act that way and we have trouble is because of this next one.
Yeah.
They're not taking accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
Oh, blame.
Ben Franklin said, he that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else.
Yep.
See, excuses provide the reasons for you to stop your forward motion. And once you stop, you can't realize your dreams. But I talk to people, and you've heard me talk about this many times. I mean, accountability is real near and dear to my heart. Being accountable, to your obligations and being liable for what you're saying you're going to do. And if you don't accomplish it, take ownership of it.
Right.
But people that are not accountable, that can bring a negative to a culture, that can try to bring it down. They're living in the past. They won't have a funeral for the damn past. They won't let it go. They bring it to convention. They bring it to these individual teams. They bring it to my accountability call. They want to talk about all the reasons they can't do something. I want to know the reasons you can do something. Quit telling me why you can't do something.
That's right.
Quit living in your past.
Come on.
The only place that you can get to your future, the gateway to your future is the present. The power of the here and now is all that matters.
Come on.
Quit telling me why you can't do something. Quit telling me what you're going to do. I don't care what you're going to do. I want to know what you're going to do today.
I got to do right now, baby.
Today.
I got to do.
Get people in a mindset of today.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people come at the convention and go, you ain't seen me in a while. Let me tell you all the things that I've been going through. And they'll go back to age 11 and catch me up to age 35. And I'm sitting there going, where's Clay? Because I'm going to call Clay over here and let him be a sacrificial lamb. But then they'll start telling me, you know what? I got to go get my picture made over here with that partner sign because I'm going partner. I'm like, how many apps have you written? None. How long have you been with us? A year. I'm like, I'm kind of checking this out from a distance. I'm trying to get my thoughts organized. I don't know if I'm ready to do this yet, but I sure like being at this convention. I'm fired up out of my mind. I'm like, you are? Yeah. I really like the culture. Yeah, some of you like the culture way too much. You need to go out there and write an app. When you play poker, they ask you to ante up.
Right.
Go at least write one app a week. Right. Some of you need to go write apps. As Mimi Romero told me the other day, she goes, best way to get people at a convention is to get them to go write some apps, and those apps are put in a separate savings account, and that's to pay for the convention.
Let's go.
They're not going to their second convention if you paid for their first convention out of your pocket. You might have got them there. They ain't re-ing up.
Right.
That's why they don't re-up, because they didn't pay to get there the first time. Get them to be responsible and go write some apps and go, these apps are for your convention, because that is one of our job descriptions, attend all meetings.
That's right.
So accountability, what do you want to say about how do you get your people to accept discipline?
Well, the first thing is I got to be disciplined. They got to see me winning in every area of my life. I ain't got a perfect marriage, but it's pretty good. I ain't a perfect dad, but I'm present. Even when Tia was up in the operating room Tuesday last week, I was still on Zoom with my team during the dial session. Rain, sleet, or snow, baby, the mail got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Rain, sleet, or snow, in season and out of season, I got to grow. I got to grow. Like, there is nothing more powerful than taking ownership. As long as you blame and you're the victim, you actually cower down. I guess there is no valor in blame.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can say, you know what, I am responsible for right now and going forward, that is the most empowering thing that you can do for a person. When I lost my job, I could have waddled in corporate America and you hit me wrong. But what I said was, this is the last time that I'm going to put my financial future in the hands of somebody else. Yeah. So I said it, and now I got to do it because I didn't like the way that it made me feel. So, like, being accountable is like, you got to be accountable to yourself. The worst person that you can lie to is yourself. And the crazy part about it, so many people lie to themselves so much they start believing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the reasons I wanted to hit junior board member, for me, but there was not an African-American junior board member here. So people sat in that audience that's brown skinned like me, they're wondering, can I do it? Now,
Yeah.
are you willing now? Are you willing? I could tell you what we did, but are you willing to do it?
Right.
Are you willing to go when you don't understand? Are you willing to confront confrontation head on your team, with your upline? Respectfully, right? So to me, like, one of the biggest things is like taking complete ownership for where I am. And sometimes it's very hard. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, I ain't cut.
Yeah, we've had many talks at night and the struggles of trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, and we ain't in the clear. We ain't arrived. And it's like.
But we're trying to get people to, don't you think we're trying to get people to take a more proactive, make a proactive choice to take back their lives and quit and let life take control of them. Be your own miracle. Quit waiting on a damn miracle. You know, quit being reactive and be proactive.
Get on offense.
Because if you're an accountable individual, you will be on the offense. If you're not accountable and you're an excuse maker, you're going to play defense the rest of your life.
Andy Albright said it this way: if you splaining, you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't splaining, I'm casting vision for where we going.
Right.
And where we going? We're getting ready to go home, I guess, in a little bit, but I'm telling you where we going. The Alliance is poised right now for unprecedented growth. I feel that there is a sense of newness like never before. The question is this right here. Can you grab hold of the newness, or are you going to hold on to the way that it's been? We don't complain about leaves.
That's right.
I don't complain about leads, and I ain't hearing it from him. Now, if he wanted to complain, I'll listen for about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Let him get it out. And then we'll say, okay, how many dials you do?
Get back to accountability.
So get out of the minutia back to what did you do. Now, get it out, but we ain't going to stay there long. We got to go.
We got to this part right here. I've been waiting to get to this part because to me, what we're going to talk about, we got to make a transition, Terry. We got to go to this because this is, to me, the most important part of the discussion today. For me, looking at all the cultures that I have been involved with, this is the secret sauce. This is essential. And if your team is not unified, it's because of this particular core value. This is the Colonel's recipe.
Yeah.
This is it. And it revolves around respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It revolves around respect. And the only way that you can create As Bono said from U2, to be one, to be united is a great thing, but to respect the right to be different is maybe even greater. This judgment, we've got to get away from judging each other. Not just what he's accomplished in the Dream Team. The whole alliance has to be non-judgmental. The only way you can get respect is to practice something that is the hardest human emotion known to man and womankind. There is nothing harder than this. Loving's easy, hating's easy. This is really difficult. It is called empathy.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about sympathy.
Right.
Because that's another core value that comes next called compassion.
Right.
I ain't talking about it. There's two different things. Empathy is when you look at somebody else and you're listening to what they're spouting out and you don't agree with anything they got to say, but you give them their moment. You don't sit in judgment. You stand in their shoes for a moment. You look at life through their lenses without judgment.
Right.
You give them their voice. You let them speak their truth. And that's how you move people. That's how you create a unified community. And that's what you've done. Those people in that room, the ones that choose to be in that room,
Right.
have decided they're going to be empathetic toward each other. And that means they tolerate each other sometimes. They have to learn to accept each other because they're all different in that room.
That's right. And that's a big part of it is acceptance.
It's acceptance and tolerance.
People are tired of being told they ain't good enough. People are tired of feeling like they got to prove themselves. We like to say it this way. There's a seat at the table. You ain't got to fight for a seat. Sit down. You good enough day one. Let's go. Now, we love you too much to leave you where you are, but sit down. Get yourself something to eat. Get you a drink. Get you a swallow of water. Calm down. Calm down. I feel you. That I feel you don't mean I agree with you.
Absolutely.
But I get you.
Yeah.
Me and this one right here, Quincy, we've known each other prior to the alliance and everything. Quincy, me and him had some deep conversations. And I told him about part of some things that he needed to release. They've been holding on to it, and it's killing him by holding on to it. And I said, man, you got to realize that people that hurt you, they were making the best decision with the information that they had available through their processing at that time. Once you can get that understanding, you can release people. It's called, I like to say, you got to be able to say, ouch, and not stop. Stop means, whoa, stop, you're hurting me. Ouch means, you know what, yeah, I was injured. That right there, that got me. That took me out the game for about 2 weeks right there. But I'm recovered. I'm ready to go now. I'm not going to meddle in it. I'm not going to lay there. But we got to go. But being able to sit down with somebody, and even if you don't agree, like, bruh, that's been how many years ago? That's what sometimes I be thinking. And you still holding on to that? That's his reality. I get you, man. And this joker right here, Jeff, has woke up.
Yeah.
After 9 years, he done woke up. And now he's saying stuff to me in the morning like, I am a king and I am powerful. And I'm looking at my cell phone. I'm like, who is this? Joker used to say, Terry, I made $400 and I can only book 3 appointments. Now we getting on the phone dialing together. He booking 10 by 10. He done woke up because somebody got him.
Hey, we're proud of you.
Damn proud.
Real proud of you.
It takes courage to stick around that long.
It does.
And figure and fight through and figure out. That's what I'm saying. There have been some victories on the inside that ain't showed up on the premium report.
Yeah.
And I know that his best is still yet to come. He ain't seen nothing. He ain't seen nothing yet. But anyway.
And I've seen the growth too. And Quincy's been on a lot of my calls, and people love you. They love you. They just want to follow you now.
And loyal. Oh my God.
Yeah, loyal. to end this conversation, we got a couple, just trying to zoom through them here. Plato said, hey, why are you trying to figure out people, and why are you trying to figure out how to be empathetic, and maybe you're not good at it yet, maybe you still got a little judgmental. You know what you can do in the meantime, Plato said? Now, y'all realize he said this like 44 years before Christ, right? Mm-hmm. He said, you can learn to be considerate. Mm-hmm. Don't take a smart person to be considerate.
That's right.
He said, manners, courtesy, politeness will win the day while you're trying to figure it all out. So I want to move. Let's move real fast. Compassion, being sympathetic and caring about people. That's what Jason said. You are good at noticing another person's distress. You are good at connecting to another person's hurt.
Hurt people understand hurt people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hurt people do hurt people, but hurt people understand. Like when you have been down yourself. See, even in my enthusiasm, I have some low lows. And it's like sometimes what the Bible says, you give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. A lot of times we got to give what we need. Mm. We got to give grace because we need a hell of a lot of grace. Mm-hmm. Right? We got to give love because we need love. Right? And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So what I do with a lot of people, Jeff, I get past the surface level stuff very, very fast. I want to find out how you grew up. Your mom and dad are together. Y'all lived in the same house. Or trying to figure out what their norms are or have been.
The connecting
part.
Yeah.
So I can connect with their hurt. Like me and Josh Parker, we have a connection about our fathers. Mm-hmm. Me and Quincy have a connection about growing up from a broken home. Like me and Mia have a connection about being people pleasers. Mm-hmm. So I try to we all got insecurities. I just don't mind putting mine on front display.
And there's one thing that you guys got to realize that he does real well. You can teach anybody to notice somebody else's hurt. And you can actually teach them to connect. But to close that circle is you got to respond. You got to be brave enough to get up in there. Responding. A true friend is not just somebody that's your strongest supporter. They need to be your biggest critic. Yeah. And that's what you're good at, that sometimes the people that's your form of love. Yeah. Now, if you get too tough on them, mm-hmm. that's when you tag in Tia.
Yeah. Clean up on aisle 4.
Clean up on
aisle 4.
Yeah.
But one thing they will never be able to say is I didn't care.
Right.
Andy used to talk about, we're going to get the hot dog out. If somebody choking, I might crush their sternum. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get the hot dog out.
You respond, Tia replenishes.
Yeah.
She's a replenisher.
Yeah.
And everybody that's good at responding, you need a partner that's good at replenishing.
That's right.
Because sometimes people can't take that response that you're giving them. Community is the one you wanted to say something real quick too. Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Buddha said, thousands of candles can be lighted by one single candle. You've created one single candle that's lit everybody's candle. I notice it. Everybody notices it at convention. There is a sense of community on that team.
Yeah. And
united mindset. You have a united mindset.
We got a message that everybody can resonate with. I don't care if you're black, white, man, woman, mm-hmm. or girl. Now, majority of our team are minorities. Mm-hmm. The other part about our team is this right here. A big part of it is we do a lot of warm market recruiting.
Right.
So 92% of our unique writers didn't come, their list of names, family, and friends. So there's a bond that's already there that we're bringing into a fold, as opposed to trying to put all these different combinations in the same pot. Like, I don't like casseroles. I like my meat and my vegetables separate. I don't want to jump it all up in there together, right? That's what kind of like, if we're only recruiting off of ads, that's what we got, right?
Right.
And it's harder to bring all of those people together. Whereas if we doing a lot of warm market recruiting and he recruiting his coworker and his cousin and stuff like that, bruh, I can get them on the phone together and they already got an instant connection. And now I'm bringing them into something that they can immediately buy into, and it feels good, Jeff. Like our Monday night Zoom calls, we have almost 100 people on our Monday night team Zoom calls.
Yeah, I've been on that with you.
It feels freaking different, bro.
Yeah, it's different.
It's very different. So that's what I'm selling. I'm selling community. I'm selling stories. I like the fact that we got part-time people making an additional $2,000 over their income, and they can take their child on vacation. That's a big deal to people. But if you make that if you minimize that, but that's a big deal to them, am I pulling him closer to me or am I pushing him further away? I want him to get closer. Come closer.
And that brings me to the last one and this is Andy doesn't like to say he has a favorite of the 8 core values, but he does. He does. I mean, he if he was here, he would admit to this. It's this one. It's the last one. It's gratitude.
Yeah.
Because he's looking for humility in people. Because if they're not humble, they're not teachable. If they're not teachable, they're not movable. Right?
Yeah.
It can't get you to where you want to go. It starts with gratitude. And Doris Day, which some of y'all don't know who that is, movie actress from the 60s, she said, gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty.
Right.
Once you stop complaining and start being grateful, the light that shines on your life will soften your heart and open your mind, revealing the truths that have been hidden from view and leading you toward a richer life, more joyful and more fulfilling.
I like the way, like that stuff right there, that book is good. But I'm going to break it down a little simpler for you too. You owe it to them to show it to them. Like how we do some things is how we do everything. I feel like my mama and daddy couldn't go to college. I owe it to them to make my life better.
Right.
They sacrificed, right? My grandparents, my granddaddy was a sharecropper. My mama used to work on the farm, miss 6 months out of school during harvest season. I owe it to them to show it to them.
I feel indebted to the people that came before me.
To the people that came before
And
me.
that causes me to count my blessings.
Day by, and it's impossible to start thinking without start thanking. What I mean by that, it's impossible to start thinking about all of the people that came before you and did when you didn't even know what to do and gave opportunity to you. It's hard. If you start thinking, you'll start thanking God that, you know what, I may not be where I want to be, but I sure ain't where I used to be. You talking about that? And then you got to be thankful. Like Andy said it this way, the best way to show your upline that you love them, it ain't to kiss their butt. It ain't to sing their praises on social media. Now, we like all that, but it's to grow. If you look at my growth numbers, Robert Kraft just sent me a report yesterday, and I pulled it up. It's a growth report. It's 3 growth numbers talking about events and your premium. I almost ran off the highway. I was like, my God, now we talking. And it looks like RM base shots. Like, I owe it to Riddle to grow. I owe it to Jason and Olga to grow.
Yeah.
I owe it to my team to grow.
Yeah.
Growth is natural until dysfunction is introduced. The problem is this right here. So many of us, we don't even want to look at the dysfunction. Until you address dysfunction, you won't grow.
You'll be distracted by every drama that comes along.
And the crazy part about it is this right here. Drama don't pay no bills.
No, it does not. You can't take it to the bank and use it for your mortgage payment.
Agency manager ring don't pay bills.
It's growth.
It's growth. It's results.
And we got a minute. You want to say anything? Say goodbye to these folks. I mean, this has been. I hope this has been informative. We got through the 8 core values, and I think you got a little bit more insight about what makes Terry tick, what makes his team tick, what makes what you thought looks like a phenomenon happen before your very eyes at a convention is not really a phenomenon. There's a lot of work that went in to get those people waving those towels. It just didn't happen by accident.
Right. The only thing, I would leave everybody with this right here. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. Legacy. How are we going to finish? How will they remember the alliance? How will they remember you? How will they remember? What are they going to say? What are they going to say about you when your head is cold and you're laying in that casket? What are the people going to say about you? How long are they going to remember you? How long before they forget your name? We got to start playing for something bigger than just premium. We're on a mission to destroy poverty. We said it if the oppressor is not going to voluntarily give up, we got to take it by force. And we got everything that we need right now, Jeff. We got the relationships, we got the experts, we got the carriers, we got the home office, we got everything we need. The question is, are you ready? Will you become someone better to achieve greater? That's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody. Andy says, I'm just a beggar trying to show other beggars where to get the bread at. We know where the bread at, baby. Mm-hmm. And ain't no better place to do it than here. And ain't no better time than to do it than now. Now is the time. We ain't got tomorrow. What we gonna do today? I love you, Jeff.
I love you, man.
You're my friend, baby.
Take care. You are my friend. Thank you, buddy.